Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Joe Kododama. Welcome you to another project. It's called In the Pocket Bowling for the PC. Yeah, this game was kind of out there in the Netherlands, but then it got taken out for some dumb reason. But the main reason why I'm playing this game is I found out that Sports Time Machine, that's the YouTube name. Of course, I will link to it in my comments. I mean, in the description. Was the guy who got me into this game. He streamed this game one day, and I was interested why it is like a PC bowling game. I've always waited for a PC bowling game. Couldn't get Polar Bowling, couldn't get the other bowling games. I would have had to deal with the Microsoft Bowling, but I wasn't too good at it. But I decided to do this thing in the pocket bowling. So I'll show you the details of it. It's the full game. Well, I got to fly a Dropbox. File display OTP chart. What's that mean? That's not. Exit card set. You got the PB8, top 50s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And then you got the women and all that. The lady silent dice, visible dice. We'll make it visible, I guess. I think you could all that. Option sound. I think I saw it on yeah, quick play mode. Full game. Yeah, quick play. Full game. OTP chart. Nice result plus minus card image. Cursor injuries. Forfeits ignore laptop display. Service default. All that. Yeah. Card image. Match. You can have single match, rematch, multiple matches. Series of matches, multiple matches, and all that. And the rules. So we're gonna play some bowling, and I'm gonna make sure that I got everything down. So what we'll do is get my thing here, and all right. So bowling, we're gonna do a tournament. We're gonna do a tournament each year, and we're gonna have. Yeah, I can't create my own dice card set, right? No, can't. All right. So PB top 50, 50 out, 2000s. So if I go for, I'm gonna go to random.org. 78 to 2008. 1 second. Yeah, it does that too. So I'm gonna go random.org, 1978 to 2008, and generate. So we're gonna 2007. Okay, so we'll do 2007. Okay, card set 2007. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what we call a single match. So you can see some of the best bowlers and all of that. Let's see here. 4, 4, 8, 12. I'm just using it. 12, 20, Durex 24, Himmler 36, 48, 54. So there's 54 guys. We'll do around 32. We're going to do 32. So I will pick 32 people at random. We'll go from there. It will be Chris Warren. We'll play against Mike Meinman. So that's what we'll do. Warren versus Meinman. All right. So this is their cards and all that. Chris Warren versus Mike Meinman. Warren has the better mark, 215 versus 211. You see what would happen if it rolls on a 3 of a kind with 3 dice, 10 to 15. A pair of 5s is back 2 frames. Back one for back, pair of six. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Well, the die, it's 151. So 151 is well, 511, that's a 7-2. So he will get a 9 on that and misses the spare. Miniman. Rolls 616. So that's also a 7-2. Yeah, I know. I can't expand this further. So his card's going to be different. Like you won't see the cards at the bottom, which is stupid. Nevertheless, Warren, well, Mindman goes next. He draws 566, so another 7-2, so another open frame to make it 18. Chris Warren, 144, so that's a 9 and a split. Well, that's a 9, so he gets 2 4s, 9 splits, so he gets the 10 frame. And of course, he can score off of that. It is 131, so that's a 7 and a spare. So 7. So you add 17 points in the second. A spare, and you add 7, so that's 17 points in the second frame for 26, and he's got a spare to go. Mindman draws a 2, 4, 6, 8. What do you think I appreciate? Go strike, and that is a strike by Mindman. I think they have the same card set in a sense, so that was a 12. Off the strike, he throws a 4-1-1. Give me the 4-1-1. He splits for 38 in the third, so 20 points for the third set because a strike and then a spare is 20, so you have a spare to go off of. Warren draws a 4-1-2, so that's a 7 split, so he gets 17 points for the third frame, and then he gets a spare to add on to score in the fifth set. He throws a 3-1-2. He scores a 9, and then he gets the easy pin for the spare, so he's at 62 through 4. Heineman, his fifth set, 4-4-6. That's 14. Pair of fours, Booyakasha. He gets the X for a strike, so Mindman gets a strike to work off of, and 20 points for the fourth frame. On to 6. 2, 6, 3. That's another K on the board. So he strikes, and he's got another strike to go off of. Warren next. He throws 3, 6, 4. That's 13. That's a strike. So he gets a strike. So he gets 82 through 5. Mindman has a strike to go off of. On to 7. It is a 3-3-2. That's an 8 split. That's 8. So he gets a split on 7. 20 points for the 6th frame strike spare. That's 20. Now Mindman next shot for him. A 2-1-3. 1-2-3. Play with me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Woo, woo. A 7-2. So he gets 113. So he gets an open frame on 7. On 8. It's a 3-3-6. Boom. A pair of threes. That is a X on the board. So he gets a strike on 8 to walk off of. Chris Warren gets a 6-2-4. That's a strike. That's 12 points. Yeah, that's 12. So he gets a 12. That's a strike on 8, 20 points for the 7th. So after 7, he's at 122, 113. He's a strike to work off of. And it's 4-6-4. That's a big strike to me. That's 14. That's a strike. So Chris Warren puts up a strike, and he's got 2 strikes to work off of a 9. Mindman. 2 triple twos. That's not good. That's a 7 and a 2. That's a 7-2. That's an open frame. 3 of a kind. So that means that he's at 141, and he throws first on the 10th. It is a 2-1-5. He scores 8 and then a spare, so he gets 1 ball. And it's a 9. 3, 2, 3, 4 is a 9, so that is a 9 on the ball, so he scores 160. So Warren, I think, could like do a simple shot. It will be 3, 4, 5. That's a strike. That's the game. Chris Warren's going to win over Mindman. His score will be important. And his score will be important because that determines in the round 32 who he faces. A triple one, and that and 8 in spare. That's a 200 for Chris Warren. So Chris Warren throws to 200. Meinman throws a 160. So Warren wins the match at 200. Now remember, points are important to find out who gets it. So that is that match. Now let's go with a new match. And it will be Ryan Schaefer who will draw first. So Ryan Schaefer draws first. And it will be Billy Oatman who will take on Schaefer in the next match. So Schaefer versus Oatman. Ryan Schaefer a 216 average, Oatman a 215 average. So we'll see what happens. Schaefer, I think, has a pretty good golf player, bowling competitor. Here we go. First frame for him is a 6-3-3. That's a 12. That's a strike for Schaefer. He just bowls perfectly down the lane. Oatman, his first frame is a 5-1-3. He gets a 9, but makes the spare, so that's a spare to work off of. Second frame is a 6-5-5. That's an 8 slash. Yeah, sure, 16, but he's got a pair of fives. So back 2 frames. So that's an 8 spare for him. Schaefer working off of his strike. A 2-3-5. That's a 10. That's a strike for Schaefer. He starts off quite well. Under 3. 6-1-5. Guess what? Gobble gobble. It's a turkey. So Schaefer gets a strike on that one. Billy Oatman working on his third frame. It's a 5-1-2. That is a spare. An 8 spare. So that's 18 more points for Oatman in the second frame. Fourth frame for Oatman. It's a K. A 5-6-3. That's 14. That's a strike on the board. So Oatman gets a strike. Oh, he's a lefty. I did not even realize that. Schaefer. Bulls a 6-4-5, another 15, and that's another strike for Schaefer. He's looking pretty impressive. Fifth set, fifth frame is a 6-2-3, and guess what? That's 11. That's a strike. So Schaefer has thrown strikes through the first 5 frames. Oatman goes a 2-4-5. That's a strike, and 20 points for the third frame. Spare strike is worth 20. So he's on 2 strikes. He throws a 6-1-4. That's 11. That's a strike. So that's a big strike for Oatman. He starts off well. He's got 3 strikes and a gobble gobble turkey. Schaefer. 6-6-2. That's a strike. That's 14. Well, pair of 6 back 1 frame, but that's 14. That's a strike. So Schaefer gets a score of strike. So through 4, it's throwing 120. 7th frame is another strike. 5-1-4. So he throws another strike. So Schaefer's looking good through 7. Oatman throws a 3-3-4. He strikes. So he puts up a 116 right now through 5. Schaefer 150 through 5 on 8. It was 4-1-2, and his run of strikes ends with a 7 and then a split. So he's at 163 through 7. Now it's Schaefer's turn. And 5-5-6, guess what? That's a strike. Ryan Schaefer has thrown a strike. He's got 8. Schaefer on 9. Road, so 6-5-2. He's thrown a 210. So Ryan Schaefer is on fire. And now comes Oatman. He throws a 3-2-2. That's a 7 split. Pair of 2s. Well, a 7, that's a 7 split. So now Oatman's got 180 through 8. He throws. It is a 6-2-2. That's a strike. So he's 200 through 9. Next ball is a 5-3-4. That's a strike. Last ball is a 4-1-6. That's a strike. So Oatman puts up a 230 right off the bat. And Oatman does well, putting up the 3 strikes in the 10th, getting another turkey. But Ryan Schaefer might be able to beat him. I think he does. Schaefer can just blind bowl if he wants to. It's a 3-3-5. That's a strike. That's 11, right? That's 11. Second ball. It's a 5-2-2. Oh, he misses on the 9 pin. Schaefer had a chance at the perfect game but missed. And then he rolls the ball for good measure. So Ryan Schaefer almost bowls a perfect game. He almost does. He bowls a 289. Second match. So Ryan Schaefer will beat Oatman. So that's match 2. Am I here? Yeah. Match 3. Will be Michael Machuga. And he will face Steve Jarls. So Steve Jarls will face Michael Machuga. Machuga righty, Jarls also righty. Machuga 217 average, so is Jarls. Machuga will go first. And he bowls a 2-2-5, so he gets a pair of twos, which is a spare. Misses that, and then will pick up the spare as well. Here comes Gennaro. He throws a 4-3-6, so he starts off right with a strike. Second frame is a 3-4-2. That's a spare. So Jaros picks up the spare on that one. Machuca throws a 2-4-4. That's 10 points. That's a strike. Total is 10. That's a strike. So he throws a strike. Third frame is a 3-4-4. That's a strike. That's 11. So that's a strike. Jaros throws a 5-6-1. That's a strike. That's 12. Fourth frame, Jaros will throw 3-2-4. 2-3-4. Spare ball. Spare the ball. So a spare for him. He's got 62-3. Machuga throws a 4-4-6. That's a strike. That's a big strike there. And he knows what he's doing. So that's 3 straight strikes for Machuga. Gobble, gobble. That's a turkey. Fifth frame. 4-5-3. That's 12. That's a strike. So he gets lucky on that one. Charles throws a 4-3-6. That's a strike. So he does his job. Working off of the strike on 6. 2-6-2. That's a strike, right? Yep. That is a strike. Machuga bowls a 5-6-1. That's a 12. That's a strike. So 5 straight strikes for Machuga. On to 7. He throws a 5-3-1, and no, that's not a strike. That's only 9. So he gets 9 pins and then hits the spare. So he has a 159 through 6. Charles throws a 6-1-3. That's 10. That's a strike. So he's trying hard. He's got gobble gobble on 8. That's a 3-6-1. That's 10. That's a strike. So he's got the strike. Here comes Machuca. It's a 6-3-1. That's a 10. That's a strike for him. He puts up a strike 179 through 7. On to 9. It is a 2-2-5. So he would spare. So he's at 199 through 8. Charles throws a 3-3-5. That's a strike. So Charles is wasting no time. Charles working off 5 straight strikes. At 6-2-2, that's 10. That's a strike. Next bull is a 1-5-3. He gets a 9. We'll have to spare at 249. Machuca definitely needs a strike. It is a 5-1-3. He will not make it. And no matter what Machuga throws on the last ball, it's not enough. 4-6-5. He gets a strike at 238, a great 238. But unfortunately for Machuga, that's not enough, as Jaros will throw at 249 and win this matchup against Machuga. Now we have Michael Hagan Jr. for, well, batting 220, batting 220, Jaros. And it will be the legend, Parker Bone III. He draws Bone in the next round. So he does that. Michael Hagan at 220 average. Parker Bone the third, 218. I remember him quite a bit. But anyway, first frame for Hagan is a 1-4-3. Not good, an 8, but he picks up a spare. So that looks pretty good. Parker throws 4-3-1. He also gets a spare, so he doesn't do that well. Second throw is a 4-5-6. Get your kicks. That's a strike, baby. Hagan. 6-3-1. That's 10. That's enough for a strike. Third frame is a 2-1-1. Oh, ouch. A 6 and a 2. That was a pocket chart, and he gets only 8, so 46. Didn't do well. Parker throws 5-4-2. That's 11. That's a strike. So Parker Bone takes the lead. On to 4. 4-5-4, pair of fours, but that's 13. That's a K on the board for Parker. Hagan throws a 1-5-2. That's an 8. So he will spare that one. On to 5. Hagan throws a 3-4-1. That's an 8. So 18 points on 4 makes it 64, and then he's got a spare to work off of. Parker throws a 6-4-5, 4-5-6. Get your kicks. That's a strike. That's number 4 for Parker. Up next, 3-6-1. That's 10. That's enough for a strike. So he got the strike. So 5 straight for Parker. Hagan throws a 4-4-5. That's 13. That's a strike himself. 1-7. It is a 4-1-3. That's a 8 on the board. So Hagan throws a 8 and a spare. So that's 20 points for 104 in the 6th, and then a spare on the 7th. Parker throws a 6-3-4. That's another strike on the board. That's 13. So that's 6 strikes on 8. He throws a 2-4-1. He makes a mistake. 7 points for that. So it's 27 on 6, 20 for 7. Strike spare. 187 through 7. Hagan throws a triple threes. He gets a K because it's 3 of a kind, baby. You know it. On to 9. He throws a 2-3-6. That's 11. That's a strike. So 124 through 7. He's in deep trouble. Parker throws 4-6-3. That's a strike. That's 207 through 8. On to 10. He throws a 2-4-5. That's a strike. Next ball is a 2-2-6. That's a strike. One more to go. 3-1-5. He finishes with a 9. He bemoans it by a 266. I think he's won. Yeah, I think he's got it because I don't think Hagan with triple strikes. Well, that's 5 straight. Hagan throws 3-5-6. That's a strike. That was 154. So practically he needs to do well. He's pretty much done for. And he knows he's done for. He throws a 4-2-3. That's 203 for Hagan. But Parker Bone, as I predicted, crushes Hagan like a paper cup. 266 to 203. The 266 will be put on there. That's the second best score of this session. So we'll have 4 more matchups for you in the next session. So thanks for watching. And thank you, Sports Time Machine, for getting me into this game in the pocket bowling. It seems like fun. And, we'll do seasons and we'll do some fun. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.